most popular Kardashian conspiracy. That is that Khloe Kardashian is actually the daughter of OJ Simpson. So if you've never heard this before or have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll explain. Kris Jenner married Robert Kardashian in 1978, and shortly after they had Kourtney and Kim in 1979 and 1980. Soon after, Khloe was born in 1984. And if you didn't know, Robert Kardashian was very, very close with OJ Simpson, and he was hugely involved in his trial. So the family often hung out with OJ Simpson, and they were actually family friends. Nicole Brown Simpson, who was married to OJ and was tragically was really good friends with Kris Jenner. But in 2013, the Kardashians' stepmom, Ellen Pearson, came forward and insisted that Robert confessed that Khloe was not his biological daughter shortly before his death in 2003. This is a pretty bold statement for someone to just like make up. And almost immediately after she said this publicly, Kim and Khloe got really, really upset and slammed their stepmom for spreading ridiculous stories about them. But check out OJ Simpson's daughter. This is Sydney Simpson, and look how similar she looks to Khloe. And not gonna lie, it's pretty crazy how different Khloe looks from her sisters. I mean, the Kardashians look very similar, all of them, and Khloe has always looked a little different than the rest of them. But not only does Kris deny that Khloe is OJ's daughter, she also denies ever having an affair with him, so no one really knows. But she did admit to having an affair on Robert. But she said it was with a Hollywood animator named Todd Waterman, and that was back in 1989, and she claims that she never had an affair with OJ. She refuses to take a DNA test. OJ firmly denies that he is the father of Khloe Kardashian. So there's really no solid proof. Kim Kardashian was recently replaced on a Calvin Klein shoot with a lookalike. Back in January of this year, Calvin Klein came out with the Our Family campaign, and the campaign starred all 5 of the sisters. And if you look at these pictures, Kim looks, I guess, a little different than normal, especially in this one, I'd say. People are convinced that Kim was replaced with a double during this shoot. And of course, people have theories about who they think replaced her in the shoot. And one of the theories, and this is just purely speculation, is that it was Nicole Scherzinger. Now, Nicole Scherzinger definitely looks like Kim Kardashian. They look similar for sure, but me personally, I can totally tell the difference between them, and I do not think that that is Nicole. However, I don't think it looks completely like Kim. Now, his next theory is a little bit weird, but it's not really a theory or a conspiracy. It's more just like odd. Back in 2013, some of you remember that Kris Jenner was given a show. It was gonna be a talk show called Kris, and it was a really big deal for her. She was super excited about it, and Fox TV gave her a 6-week trial to kind of show what she could do, to show the chemistry of the show, give them a better idea if she's a good person to invest into. However, she didn't even make it to the 6-week trial. The show was canceled a month after it aired, and Fox 31 ended up coming out and saying that the reason that they canceled the show is because Kris does not do well in front of cameras. Now, this is a little weird considering she films her entire life on camera for a living. They said that Kris was great to work with, you know, behind the scenes, and that they had good guests. Kanye was on the show. They said that when the cameras would come on, she would freeze up. She would act super unnatural and awkward, so they just had to cancel it early. So, pretty weird. Unless you've been living under a rock the last couple of years, you probably know that before Kim was married to Kanye West, she was married to Kris Humphries for a very, very short amount of time. In the very beginning of 2011, Kim Kardashian met Kris Humphries, and they started dating. And if you don't know who Kris Humphries is, he's an NBA player. And on May 18th of 2011, just 8 months of dating, I remember I was in high school when this all happened, Kim and Kris got engaged. On August 20th of 2011, the two got married, and this was a ordeal. This wedding was huge and so over the top. It was like a princess fairy tale. There's 450 guests, which is quite a bit, but you know, the Kardashians, they know a lot of people. And it was this big, beautiful wedding. Kim looked gorgeous. They get married happily ever after, right? Wrong. Only 72 days after they got married, Kim Kardashian filed for divorce. And because the wedding itself made so much money from the TV special and all the publicity and magazine stuff, and it also just gave them a boost up in the media, just people talking about them, people started to suspect that this may have been a publicity stunt. The TV special alone had 4.4 million people tuning in just the night that it aired. It was split into 2 nights, and then the second night, there was another 4 million people who watched. And so people basically think that they weren't really in love. They just loved the idea of how much attention that they would get from the wedding and how much money it would bring in for them. There are even rumors that Kris Humphries was considering not even walking down the aisle, but he did because he knew how much money was in it for him. Jonathan Jackson, who was a good friend of Kim Kardashian's at the time of the wedding, said he wasn't surprised by their breakup at all. In fact, he kind of saw it coming, and he wasn't 100% sure if their romance or their marriage was real at all. He said part of it was a publicity stunt. She knew they were going to make a lot of money from her wedding. It made millions. I do think she fell in love, but once she got to know him and being married to him, she realized that he wasn't her match. People think the relationship was fake because they never settled down together either. Kim and Kris never lived in a house together or attempted to settle down. They just lived in hotel rooms for the first 2 months of their marriage. I mean, honestly, I think Kim could have gotten into the whole thing, fallen in love with him, but then realized he wasn't her type after they were already down the road of having this huge TV special and doing this huge wedding, and she decided to just go ahead and do it. And the crazy thing is not only did the wedding make them a ton of money and get a ton of publicity, but the divorce got probably just as much attention as the wedding did. A lot of people think that Kim purposely tried to make Kris Humphries look like the bad guy. And it was alleged that a lot of the scenes on the show are fake. Shocker. He said that a lot of the scenes with Kris Humphries in it were reshot or edited in order to make him look like a bad guy. So pretty much everyone knows that Kim Kardashian got famous because of a special adult tape, shall we say, with Ray J back in 2003, which seems like forever ago. And in 2007, this adult tape was made public, and it ended up being the most watched adult video content ever. And sources claim that Kris Jenner was absolutely thrilled when she learned about the title of the tape that was released. Vivid Entertainment released the tape as Kim Kardashian Superstar. Now, this was a big deal because back then, Kim really wasn't a household name at all. She was barely famous. And it is alleged that Kris Jenner actually got $500,000 for signing a contract to release the tape. The Kardashians had a former nanny, and her name was Pam Behan. And she said, "I believe Kris was grooming her children for their current celebrity status their entire lives. I do believe the success they enjoy now is what she always hoped for and wanted for them and herself." However, Kim did sue Vivid Entertainment, so I'm not sure how much this theory makes sense. And that is it for me today, guys. I will talk to you next time. Bye.